बोलिए श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, लाडली लाल की जय. Could you increase the volume a bit, please? आज उठ गाय गई दई Devoted souls, in this most beautiful song from Prem Ras Madira, Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj describes a very sweet meeting of a very fortunate soul with the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul is Shri Krishna, and the individual soul is an illiterate milkmaiden of Braj, a Gopi. It is a Gopi's first sweet meeting with Shyamsundar. So let's understand a little bit about both of them, shall we? Lord Krishna, first of all, the Supreme Soul, the soul of all souls. About him, the Vedas say, Yasmat param na paramasti kinchit, yasman naniyo najjayosti kaschit. Shvetashvataropanishad, chapter 3, mantra number 9. There is no one greater than him. He is the Lord of all lords, and there are countless lords. Not in the sense that we all want to be the lords. We all want to be the masters, and nobody wants to be the servant. We want to be the leader, never the follower. We want to be the Lord. We want to lord it over everyone else. Not in that sense. there are countless Brahmas, countless Vishnus, countless Shankars, the three governors of the universe. And since there are countless universes, there are countless lords. And then there is one, Mahavishnu. There's only one of him, Mahavishnu, the lord of countless Brahmas, Vishnus, and Shankars. And then there is Lord Krishna. The Bhagavad says, I bow down to Govind. Govindam Adipurusham tamaham bhajami. I bow down to Govind. I bow down to Lord Krishna. The one whose partial manifestation is Mahavishnu. Vishnur Mahan sa ihayasya kala vishesho Govindamadi Purusham tamaham bhajami. I bow down to Lord Krishna, whose partial manifestation is Mahavishnu. So there is no one greater than him. Na param pundarikakshat, says Mahabharat, there is no one greater than the lotus-eyed Sri Krishna. And he himself tells us by telling Arjun in the Gita, Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Chapter 7, verse 7. O Dhananjaya, O conqueror of wealth, O Arjun, understand this, that there is no one beyond me. There is no one greater than me, for I am the greatest. He's not bragging. He's just disclosing the truth. He has to tell us. And so there's no one greater than Lord Krishna. That is who the Supreme Soul is. Now, what about the individual soul, the Gopi? Well, the individual soul is an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. The Bhagavad tells us so. The Vedas tell us so. All the Vedic scriptures tell us so. The Bhagavad Puran says, Swakrita Pureshwamishwa Bahirantara Samvaranam Tava Purusham Vadantya Khila Shakti Dhritonsha Kritam. 10:87:20, Canto chapter verse. Meaning, every individual soul is an eternal fraction of the Supreme Soul. And fraction does not mean fragment. And knowing that we would have this confusion, Paramatma Sandarbha says, Nachatanka chinna pashana khandavat. Na pashana khandavat. It's not as if God is like a stone and we are little pebbles that have been chipped out of the stone. Somebody has hammered at the stone and now we are little pebbles. It's not like that. Then, the individual soul is part of an energy of God called Jiva Shakti. And that is who we are. That is what the Gopi is. The individual soul is an eternal fraction of God. We belong to an eternal energy of God called Jiva Shakti. And so Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Mamaivansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Chapter 15, verse 7. O Arjun, every individual soul is my eternal fraction. In the Ramcharitmanas, Sant Tulsidas, Goswami Tulsidas says, Ishwar Ansh Jeev Avinashi Chetan Amal Sahaj Sukh Rashi. Same thing in a different language. Every individual soul is an eternal fraction of God. So the Gopi is an eternal part and parcel of Shri Krishna. And Shri Krishna knows this, but she is finding out for the very first time in a very playful way, in a very wonderful and very entertaining kind of way. The Gopi says to one of her friends, "Aaj uthagayi gayi dayi haan. Daiya re daiya, aaj to main puri tarah se lut gayi." Today, Sakhi, I was robbed today. Her friend asked, "You have been a victim of a robbery? What happened?" But of course, we know that many people are robbed. Many people are robbed just once in their lifetime. And some are robbed many times. If we don't learn our lessons, we are robbed by worldly people. And they may be in the form of our family members, our so-called friends, acquaintances, and sometimes total strangers. So some people are robbed many, many times. But this Gopi is saying in a very significant way, I was completely robbed today. Everything was taken away from me. So it seems that the Gopi has been robbed for the very first time. Not only in this present life, but in countless lives. This is the first time she has been robbed. We have lived countless lives. This is not a secret to anyone here. We have lived countless times. Because we have eternally chosen God's deluding energy called Maya, an eternal energy, we have continually and eternally chosen Maya over God. So Dasi Raghubir ki, Maya is a maidservant, a handmaiden of God. But rather than going to the Lord, we have always chosen his maidservant. To each their own. We have never wanted the master. We have wanted to be with the maidservant. And so Maya has punished us. Kabhu swarge pathaye, kabhu narake dubaye. Sometimes Maya took us to Swargalok, the celestial abodes. Bhuvah swaha mahajanah tapah satah brahmalok, 7 levels, giving us an ever-increasing level of happiness, but not true happiness, just material happiness. In each one of these levels giving us further and further. So I've mentioned them in an ascending order of excellence. 7 abodes, celestial abodes. Swargalok. We have been there countless times. And we have been to the Naraklok, we have been to the hellish abodes countless times. Ararav Narak, Kumbhi Pak Narak, Kal Sutra Narak. These may seem like new and unfamiliar names to us now, but we have lived in these abodes. We've been there. We have forgotten, but we've been to all the 28 hells countless times. And countless times we were born in the body of a tree, body of an insect, bird, animal, and countless times we were blessed with the human body. So the Gopi has lived countless lives, but she is disclosing to her friend, an intimate friend, Sakhi, I was robbed badly. I lost everything. What did you lose? Were you carrying some money with you? Did he rob you of your money? Did you have some jewelry that he took away from you? What did he rob you of? What the Gopi means is that she has been robbed of her body. The body is very dear to us, and she has been robbed. Never again will she get a material body. Never again. She has attained countless material bodies in the past, but never again will she receive one in the future. She said, I have been robbed so badly that I will never get a body again, a material body. And the body is very dear to us. We do say from time to time, oh, I'm so fed up with this body. This body is just troubling me so much. But at the end of the day, we are very attached to this body. This body made of the 5 elements, Kshiti, Jal, Pavak, Tej, Samira, Pancharachita Yaha Adhama Sarira. This material, impure body made of the 5 gross elements, space, air, fire, water, and earth, it's very dear to us. The greatest attachment that we have is to this body of ours. We can fool others and we can say, you know, you are more precious to me than my very life. I love you more than life. We can speak words like these because you know what they say, words are cheap. I say words are not cheap. They're absolutely free. You can just take them. It's not like you go to a store and say, you know, do you have any words on sale? Words on clearance? And the shopkeeper would say, no, actually, you don't have to come here. Just words are everywhere. Just choose any word. We say, okay, I'll choose these words. I love you more than life. 6 words. You know, we don't spend any money. I love you more than life. He says to her, she says to him. You know, he says, she says, and both are fooling one another. They're embracing one another, and they could be mother and son. The mother saying to her child, I love you more than life, beta. It could be husband and wife. My dear, I love you more than life. All you have to do is throw a rubber snake and see whom they love the most. Is anything more precious to us than life? No. Once the rubber snake is thrown, he will run this way, she will run that way, both trying to save their own lives. So nothing is more precious to us than our own body. We are deeply attached to our body. And then number 2, one is attached to one's spouse, and then to children, and then to friends. And you know, there's a sequence. So that body to whom the Gopi has been so attached, to which this Gopi has been so attached, has been taken away from her. She will never get it again. And then, greater than the body is the mind. The mind is also snatched away. She will no longer have a material mind. Never, ever again. Shamsundar has taken it away from her. Not only that, she says, Sakhi, this robber, he snatched away countless actions of mine that I have worked so hard at in the past. In countless lives, I've performed countless actions, countless virtuous actions, countless sinful deeds, but he's taken them all away. And I don't mind that he has taken punya karma away, virtuous actions, I don't mind that he's taken them all, but these sinful deeds, I mind it very much that he's taken them all away. Why should the Gopi mind that countless sins have been taken away from her? It's because it's easy to perform virtuous actions. It doesn't take much of an effort, but to perform a sinful deed takes a lot of effort. It's a very laborious thing. I'll give you an example. If somebody asks you, where did you go 2 weekends ago? You could just say, I went to Dallas. That's the truth. You went to Dallas. Somebody asks you, where did you go? You say, I went to Dallas. But if you want to tell a lie, you'll have to think about it. What should I say to this woman? What should I say to this fellow? I don't want to tell him that I went to Dallas. So I'll say, I went to Houston. But you'll have to think about it. What if he finds out that I didn't go to Houston? What if he calls somebody, a mutual friend, and he finds out that I didn't go to Houston, that I went to Dallas? What if he checks my Facebook page? What if he checks somebody else's Facebook page and I'm there and somebody's talking about me and saying, and he'll find out? What if my lie is exposed? But I really have to tell him a lie, so I've got to think so much about what to say to this fellow. I've got to cover all my bases. and then still worry about it that perhaps I left some base uncovered. There is so much hard work involved in committing a sin. In the beginning of our lives, we didn't know how to commit a sin. A child does not know how to commit a sin. A child does not know how to tell a lie. A child doesn't know how to be artificial. A child is taken along with her parents to visit a family friend, and she goes there and she sees a bowl of rasgullas. That's the dessert, but she sees the rasgullas. She's extremely fond of rasgullas, and she starts saying loudly to her mother, "Mom, I want that rasgulla. Mommy, I want that rasgulla. Mom, let me have that rasgulla." And the mother says, "Shh, quiet, beta. Don't say that." "Why shouldn't I say it, Mommy?" she says loudly. And the mother is so embarrassed. "Stop it. I'll give you rasgulla at home. We'll have in a while, but just don't be so loud." "But why not, Mommy? I asked you for rasgulla at home. You give it to me. Why can't I ask for it over here?" Oh, goodness. The mother says, "Because we do this at home, we don't do it in somebody else's home." The child thinks, "I don't understand that. Home is home. I can do something at home, but I can't do something over here in somebody else's home." The child doesn't know how to be artificial. And saints are like that. They're so childlike. They don't know how to tell lies. They don't know how to commit sins. All sins have left. Maya has gone. They don't know how to be anything but genuine. And that's what delights us about our master. It's absolutely delightful to see Shri Maharaj Ji being absolutely natural. And then he makes fun of the etiquette that we reveal, that we manifest in front of people. So Shri Maharaj Ji would deliberately bump into somebody and then say, "Sorry." He'll deliberately throw things off the counter and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," like that. Or deliberately and humorously say, "Thank you." Because he doesn't know how to observe etiquette. He doesn't know how to be artificial. And he makes fun of us because we are so artificial. Shri Maharaj Ji said, he has said, the only time you people are true to yourselves is when you are in the bathroom by yourself. The rest of the time you're only artificial. So the mind that contained countless sins and countless virtues, O Sakhi, some scoundrel came and he just snatched everything away. I will never get a mind again. Now her friend says, "I don't understand what you're saying, so you've got to elaborate." And so the Sakhi says, I'll tell you what happened. आज ठगाय गई दई हो, आज ठगाय गई दई हो, गई Gopi says, "Today I went to Kusum Sarovar and I wasn't alone. I went with many, many friends of mine. I went with many gopis. Kusum Sarovar is in Govardhan. And 5,000 years ago, there were many, many beautiful flowering trees there, many beautiful flowering bushes there. Kusum meaning flower and Sarovar meaning pond, so it was a pond of flowers. Today you don't see many flowers there, but there's a pond over there. But 5,000 years ago, there were such amazing and fragrant flowers that we cannot even imagine how fragrant they were, because we are accustomed to flowers that have no fragrance. You go to buy a bouquet of flowers and there's no fragrance. They're beautiful, no doubt, but there's no fragrance. And sometimes you pick up a bouquet of flowers and you smell and say, that smell, fragrance is so beautiful. And after a while you think to yourself, hold on, this is a perfume that's been sprayed over here on these flowers. Because I wear the same perfume every day, I know the scent. So you ask the seller, the flower seller, and he says, well, yes, these flowers have been sprayed with fragrance. But the flowers of that time were extremely fragrant. Parijat and flowers that we are unfamiliar with. And the gopis would go there to collect flowers for their own shringar. Perhaps the gopi wanted to weave the flowers in her braid. Perhaps she wanted to put them in her hair. Maybe she wanted to make gajras or bracelets with flowers. Perhaps she wanted to have a flower garland. Most importantly, she wanted those flowers for the ornaments that she was going to make for Radha and Krishna, for Thakurji and Kishoriji. And some people would go there every day to collect flowers. Some gopis would go there on special days, on festival days, days of festivities. But all the gopis would go there at one point or another and they would pick their flowers. So Sakhi, this was nothing unusual. Sakhi, I went to Kusum Sarovar to pick flowers, and I wasn't alone. I'm telling you, I wasn't alone, because the other gopi is looking at this one judgmentally. Oh, I know what you must have done. You must have gone all alone, and I'd warned you. So this gopi is saying, she said, did you forget that I warned you not to go anywhere alone? This is why the gopi is saying, I didn't go there alone. I tell you, I was with a lot of friends. And so her friend is now saying, did you forget my words of caution? Did I not tell you that if you ever see him, that dark one, that you are not to look at him and just avert your gaze? Did I not tell you? She said, you did, and I didn't. I swear I didn't look at him. And okay, then you must have spoken to him. I didn't even speak to him. No, I did not speak with him. And I cautioned you especially not to touch him. Did you do that? Is that why you were robbed? The gopi says, I by myself didn't do anything. I didn't deliberately look at him. I did not deliberately hear his voice. I did not deliberately touch him. I didn't do any of this. But this gopi, to whom she is saying all this to, she understands what has happened. Because she has also been smitten. She has also been robbed of everything. So she understands the entire scenario, but she is so delighted at the anticipation of what is coming that she tells her friend, now tell me the whole story. It's like it's a Ramayana or Bhagavad. Tell me the whole story and don't spare any details. I want to hear everything that happened. She's delighted. She's anticipating this wonderful katha that's coming. And so she asks her friend, tell me everything. Don't forget any smallest little detail. So the gopi is going to tell her, and we are also going to find out. Aaj uth gaay gayi dayi. Sakhi, I was busy collecting flowers, as were all the other gopis, and we were at a little distance from each other. And I was really engrossed in getting my flowers because I had to go home after that. And then suddenly, I heard someone jumping. And before I knew it, there was this boy in front of me. When I heard the sound of him jumping, my heart started pounding. I became very afraid. And then he jumped, that sound of jumping, then standing, and then he started talking to me immediately. Sakhi, I was so terrified, just for that split second. What to speak of a woman, a gopi, even a 400-pound sumo wrestler would be shocked. Even he would become afraid if someone just appears out of nowhere in front of him, just jumps in front of him, anyone would get afraid. Anyone would become afraid. So Sakhi, I was so afraid, I became afraid. He appeared out of nowhere. And I thought to myself, after I caught my breath, I thought, who is this uncivilized fool? Who does that to anyone? All I did was I lowered a branch of a tree to get some nice flowers, and then I felt that the branch was especially heavy. How did I know that he was hiding up there? And when I lowered the branch, he just jumped in front of me, dhamaka hua, and there he was in front of me. And I was shocked. I became very, very afraid. And I said to him in a scolding voice, "You shouldn't do that to people, you know? You shouldn't scare people like that. Here I was collecting flowers and you came out of nowhere. What business do you have doing this to me?" So we can all understand this Gopi's words, why she would be annoyed with Shyam Sundar. So now Sakhi is asking, what did he say? What did he say then? She said, hold on, I'm telling you. First of all, I must say that he's very uncultured. He has no manners. And the Sakhi is saying, yes, I know. But I also know that you have fallen for him. So tell me. Well, Sakhi, after this, he told me something that really surprised me. What he said was this. Mote kahi sakhi tohi dekhan. Mote kahi sakhi tohi dekhan. Mote kahi sakhi tohi dekhan. And Sakhi, when I scolded him, he scolded me back. He said, do you think that I have so much time to waste that I will do this? I'll come chasing you? Do you think that's what I'm here for? And I was taken aback because I was the one scolding him. He is the one who made me afraid. And he's scolding me. Yes, Sakhi, he said to me, I don't have a lot of time to waste. I came here to do you a favor. A favor? What kind of favor? He said, your Maya, your mother, and my Maya, my mother, they're talking right now. And they were talking, and then they talked about their children. And before I knew it, I was there, before I knew it, they started talking about you and me. And they got us engaged. Engaged? I'm engaged already? Yes, your Maya and my Maya, they had a talk. You know, in olden days, parents would not ask for the opinion of their children. They would just get their children engaged. We know what's best for you, and you're going to get married to this boy, you're going to get married to this girl. Chances were that the boy didn't even look at the girl before, until he lifted her veil after the wedding. And the girl would not see the face of the boy. So this was nothing unusual. So the Gopi is now thinking, this is wonderful. Everybody wants to get married to him. And I know all the Gopis want to marry him. Even daughters of very rich people, like Vrishabhanu's daughter, Radha, she wants to marry him too. And all the Gopis are observing a fast, trying to please Katyayani Devi. Oh, Katyayani Devi, please be pleased with me. Please, I'm asking you for a favor. I want to marry Nandakumar. Please fulfill this desire of mine. All the Gopis I know are observing Katyayani Devi's fast. And I am the fortunate one. I cannot believe it. My Maya and his Maya have talked and they have gotten us engaged. Oh, how lucky I am. All the Gopis will be so jealous of me. He's going to become mine. He's going to become mine. Now, she's not displaying this pleasure, this happiness. She's actually doing the opposite. She's saying, oh, really? My Maya got me engaged already. I'm so small. I'm so young. And you know what? Such a bother getting engaged and getting married. I was just picking flowers and I'm so busy and now I have to go home. Yes, your mother is calling you, so you have to go home. Now I have to go home. I was going to play with my friends. What a bother this is. Sakhi, I said this to him, but internally, my heart was doing cartwheels. I was so happy, so happy. He's going to be mine, he's going to be mine, he's going to be mine. Everybody wants him, but nobody got him. I'm the one who got him. I was so happy, so happy. And then he said, shall we go home now? Let's go home. Your mother wants you home. In fact, she was getting angry with you. She was saying, I don't know, she left home early in the morning and she has so many chores to do. She hasn't done them. There she goes playing with her friends. So you'd better go home right now. And I'll walk with you. An innocent proposal. I'll walk with you. I'll accompany you. And the Gopi, of course, is very happy. Oh yes, I get to walk with him. So then I started walking with him. And then what happened? The Gopi who is listening to all this, just like us, she is very anxious to find out what happened, what played out after that. So now the Gopi is going to tell her friend, and she is going to tell all of us in the process. आज उठ गाय गई दई हो आज उठ गाय गई दई हो Sakhi, we started walking, and soon we came to a very dense part of the woods. You couldn't even see 10 feet ahead of you. There was such thick vegetation there, so many flowering bushes and so many plants, so many trees were there. And it was then that this scoundrel, he became fresh with me. He put his arms around my neck. We talk about, Sri Maharaj Ji uses the word gal bahiyan or gar bahiyan. So gar is a gala, the neck, bahiyan is the arm, so to put an arm around someone. And Sakhi, he did something that is never done. He put his arms around me. Now, 5,000 years ago, this was scandalous. Scandalous. Talk of Vrindavan. And that girl probably couldn't show her face to anyone after that. And nobody would marry her after that. How is it that you were seen with this boy, arm in arm? No, I didn't put my arm around him. Never mind. How is it that you allowed him to put his arm around you? It would be scandalous. Of course, nobody was there. And Shyam Sundar thought, this Gopi is deserving. So I shall give her my touch. She is deserving. The undeserving ones don't get that. Once a woman said to Sri Maharaj Ji, Maharaj Ji, I've heard that Lord Krishna was quite flirtatious. Sri Maharaj Ji said, I've heard the same. Yes, he is. I've heard the same thing as you have. Well, Maharaj Ji, I am a woman of principle. I have very high morals. I can say only this much, that if Shyam Sundar comes here today, if he comes here today, I will never allow him to touch my body. Sri Maharaj Ji was stunned to hear this, that this woman should be judging the Supreme Lord and thinking of him to be truly, not just playfully, but truly someone immoral. Sri Maharaj Ji said, you don't have to worry about anything. She said, I don't. Sri Maharaj Ji said, he doesn't touch the likes of you. You don't have to worry, he will never touch you. In other words, you're not deserving. You have these thoughts about the Supreme Lord, that he cannot touch you, the one who gave you this body, the one who gives you life, the one who is your very own. You don't hesitate when worldly people touch you. In countless lives, we have attained the touch of countless worldly people. We didn't mind that. We've attained the touch of dirty animals like pigs and the like. We didn't mind. We were so delirious. Oh, this pig likes me. This pig is touching me. Our snouts met. We didn't mind that. But now, Shyam Sundar, how dare he touch me? And I will not allow him to do anything like that. I am a woman of high character. What character do we have? We have fallen under the spell of Maya. What character do we have? But we think very highly of ourselves. So Sri Maharaj Ji said to this woman, don't worry, he does not. You're not in any danger. You're not in the danger zone. He will never touch you. You have to be very, very dedicated, very surrendered for him to touch you. He doesn't touch just anyone. So the Sakhi, the Gopi, says to her friend, he put his arm around me. Scandalous, right? But oh Sakhi, I went into a trance immediately. I don't know, I have attained the touch of my mother and father and friends, but I have never ever received that kind of a touch. When he touched me, something happened. I went into samadhi and I had no idea what was going on. I just lost consciousness. I was semi-conscious. And I cannot tell you, Sakhi, what happened. The last thing I know is he put his arm around me. I don't know what happened next. Did he embrace me? Did something else happen? I don't know because I wasn't conscious of it. But Sakhi, I can tell you this much, that I have never been so happy in my life, in countless lives. This happiness that I received from his touch is beyond description. And the Gopi who's listening to this understands because she has experienced that touch. So she understands. She had been cautioning her friend, don't ever look at him. If you look at him, don't speak with him, don't hear his words. And if that happens by accident, then don't ever touch him. Because you see, and her friend had asked, why should I not touch him? Just in case I accidentally touch him, what's going to happen? Oh, you'll get this contagious disease. Contagious disease? The disease of love. Prem rog. Even a lover of God, someone who loves God, someone who loves Shri Krishna, Krishna Premi, if you associate with him, you will also be infected with that disease that he is suffering from, the disease of love. This disease is very infectious. So the Gopi had warned her friend, don't ever touch him because you will suffer in the same way as I am suffering now. Because this Gopi is experienced. But now, this Gopi, she has attained the divine touch of Lord Krishna, and she is saying to her friend, I became semi-conscious and I really have no idea what went on. But then, after some time, when I became kind of normal, not altogether normal, but kind of normal, then something happened. What happened? I'll tell you. Aaju thagaye gayi झूठ निकली Sakhi, when I became kind of conscious, then suddenly he said to me, Ram Ram, I'm going. And I said, what do you mean, Ram Ram, I'm going? And while he was running away, he said, I made all that up. Your Maya and my Maya never had any conversation. I just fooled you. He showed me his thumb and he teased me, stuck his tongue out and his thumb out, and he said, I was just fooling you. Ha ha, you believed me. And he ran away from there. Oh, Sakhi, what has happened to me now? I was thinking I was going to marry him. And then I found out that it was all a joke. But never mind, Sakhi. I am so much in love with him now. He has robbed me of everything. I cannot think of anyone but him. I cannot think of anything besides him. Jit dekho tit sham mayi hai, sham mayi hai. Sham kunj ban jamuna shama, sham gagan ghan ghata chayi hai, sham mayi hai. Jit देखूं तित श्याममयी है, सब रंगन में श्याम भरो है, लोग कहत यह बात नई है, बात नई है. जित देखूं तित श्याममयी है, श्याममयी है. नर देवन की कौन कथा है, नर देवन की कौन कथा है. अलख ब्रह्म छवि श्याममयी है, श्याममयी है. जित देखूं तित श्याममयी है, श्याममयी है. O Sakhi, what has happened to me? Wherever I look, I see only Shyam Sundar. Every color is Shyam. Every color is black. In my eyes, every color is black. Does everybody else see that? I see the Yamuna and I see Shyam Sundar there. I see the cluster of trees and I see Shyam Sundar there. I see him everywhere. Batan mein, ghatan mein, beethin mein, bagan mein, behlin mein, batika mein, phulan mein, ban mein, daran mein, diwarin mein, dehari darichan mein, hiran mein, haran mein, bhushan mein, tan mein, kanan mein, kunjan mein, gopin mein, gayan mein, gokul mein, godhan mein, damini mein, ghan mein. जहाँ जहाँ देखूं तहाँ श्याम ही दिखाई देत. मेरो श्याम छाए रहो नैनन में मन में. Oh Sakhi, what will I do now? I see only Shyam Sundar. He has pervaded every pore of my body and he has pervaded every part of my mind. I think only of him. I cannot think of anyone else. I cannot think of anything else. Today, Sakhi, I have been robbed of everything. I have surrendered everything to him. Body, mind, everything is his. And for countless lives to come, I will never get a material body again. For countless lives to come, I will never have a material mind again. Because now this Gopi, having surrendered completely to Shyam Sundar, she will never have to come to this Mrityu Lok again. She will never have to wander in the 8.4 million forms of life. She will never be tormented by Maya. Maya will remain, but Maya is like a pair of handcuffs. A prisoner is handcuffed, but then when his time is over, when he has finished his time, then the jailer comes, the warden comes and unlocks the handcuffs. Now the handcuffs are put away. They're not destroyed, but the prisoner is no longer, that man is no longer a prisoner. So now the Gopi is no longer a prisoner. Maya will remain, but Maya will never torment her again. Her countless actions, and she has said playfully, my countless virtuous actions have gone, he has taken them away. I don't mind, but countless sins that I labored so hard to perform, they have been taken away also. It's a playful way of saying that I will never be tormented by Maya again, and I will now get a divine body in Golok. I will now have a divine mind. With my mind, now I will think only about Krishna, my beloved. We too await the day when we can also say, Aaj ठगाय गई वल्लभ श्याम की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, प्रेम रस मदिरा की जय, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, गोपी प्रेम की जय।